G'day everyone, welcome to today's Essential Explainer. If you're navigating the Australian visa and immigration system, you absolutely know that keeping your personal details up to date is, well, it's vital. It's a non-negotiable. Today, we're mastering ImmiAccount and breaking down some massive time-sensitive changes to how you update your information with the Department of Home Affairs. Now, before we really get going, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below. It seriously helps us keep bringing you these essential guides. Real quick before we jump into the actual mechanics of updating your details, let's just go over this brief disclaimer. This explainer is strictly for informational purposes, based directly on official Department of Home Affairs guidelines, meaning it's not official legal advice, okay? If you've got a really complex or highly specific case, always consult a registered migration agent or the department directly.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the shift away from Form 999, the new ImmiAccount Fasttrack, essential passport and contact updates, and the evidence you're going to need to prove any major life changes. So, whatever your specific life scenario is right now, don't worry. I promise we've got you covered here today.
All right, moving into Section 1, the end of Form 929. This is a massive system shift.
So the entire Australian immigration landscape is currently going through this huge systemic shift. We're moving from old paper forms to fully digital systems. Now, for years, pre-2024, if you wanted to update your details, you had to print out the paper form 929, fill it out by hand, scan it, and email it off. But mark your calendars, because as of November 25th, 2024, that form is officially discontinued. It is gone. The old paper method, no longer available. As we move into 2026 and beyond, the whole system is prepping for 100% digital compliance.
Which brings us to Section 2, the ImmiAccount Fasttrack. This is our new digital solution.
Okay, so if the paper form is dead, what on earth do we do? Well, we move entirely to a modern digital solution. And let me tell you, as someone who absolutely loves efficiency, this is incredibly good news. The old email method, that was a 30-day waiting game. I mean, that's literally a lifetime in bureaucratic limbo. The new digital ImmiAccount update, a 72-hour turnaround. Seriously, from a whole month down to just 3 days. It's a real game changer. By the way, if you're finding this time-saving tip helpful, take just a quick second to subscribe to the channel right now so you never miss out on these critical updates.
The user journey is brilliantly straightforward. First, you just log into your ImmiAccount online. Second, find your active or finalized application. Third, hit that Update Us tab right there on the side menu and pick what you're changing. From there, you just enter your new details, attach your documents, and you're done. Just a few clicks, the whole shebang.
Let's move on to Section 3, passport updates. These are absolutely critical for travel.
Now that we actually know how to update the system, let's talk about what needs updating. Let's start with what is arguably the absolute most critical category for any migrant or traveler passing through Australia's borders. Listen to this phrase from our sources. You need to remember this. All Australian visas are linked to the passport. There's no labels. Back in the old days, you'd get a physical sticker slapped inside your passport book. Well, not anymore. Everything is entirely digital now. If your digital visa record in the government's database doesn't perfectly match the actual physical passport you are holding in your hand, the system simply doesn't know you have a visa.
I mean, just imagine this. You arrive at the airport for your absolute dream holiday. You hand over your brand new passport to the airline desk, and boom, they tell you you don't have a visa. Since everything is digital, if you get a new passport from your embassy and you fail to link it through ImmiAccount immediately, the airline system physically cannot onboard you for your flight. We're talking major, heartbreaking travel disruptions that are totally preventable. So you must, absolutely must, update your new passport the second you receive it.
All right, on to Section 4, contact and names, keeping those details current.
Aside from passports, there are everyday personal details that have to be kept strictly current. We're talking about your residential address, your phone number, your email address, any name changes, maybe you recently got married, congratulations, and gender updates. The stakes here are genuinely high. The Department of Home Affairs needs to be able to reach you. Think about it. If they send a critical notice, like a visa cancellation warning, to an old email or a previous physical address, and you miss it, you won't even know you're in serious trouble until it is way too late.
Next up, Section 5, Navigating Major Life Changes. When to notify Home Affairs.
But what if your family grows or things change? Look, visas are usually granted based on a very specific set of circumstances. And while life happens, right? Families grow with a new baby, relationships might end, or tragically, a visa sponsor might pass away. Whenever those overarching circumstances alter, the department officially needs to know. If you're on an employer-sponsored visa, changing jobs or losing a job is absolutely critical to report. For international students, changing your study courses or deferring alters your visa conditions. And of course, if you simply decide, hey, I want to withdraw my pending application, that has to be formally recorded too.
Coming to our final section, Section 6, Required Evidence, how to actually prove your changes.
So, we've talked about what needs updating and where to do it online. But how do you actually prove these changes to the department with the correct documents? Now, what's really interesting here is the fascinating nuance between what is legally mandatory and what is just recommended. Getting a new passport? Pretty obvious. You must attach scans of both your old and new passports. For a name change, a merit certificate or official name change certificate is strictly mandatory. But the address change? That's the interesting one. Technically, you don't have to provide proof of a new address to submit the form. However, providing a driver's license that shows your new address is strongly recommended. Why? Because it makes your digital update so much stronger, way more credible, and vastly less likely to face any annoying bureaucratic delays.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today. But I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative yet super important question to think about. Are your details fully up to date before your next flight? Seriously, don't wait until you're standing at the check-in counter with all your luggage to find out. Log into your ImmiAccount today, check your status, and use that 72-hour Fasttrack if you need to. Thank you so much for joining me to master these updates. If you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more focused learning, and leave a comment below. Have you ever had a near miss at the airport because of an outdated passport? I really want to hear about it. Stay informed, guys, and I will see you in the next explainer.